The Douglas A-4 Skyhawk is a single-seat subsonic carrier-capable attack aircraft developed for the United States Navy and United States Marine Corps in the early 1950s. The delta-winged, single-turbojet engine Skyhawk was designed and produced by Douglas Aircraft Company, and later by McDonnell Douglas. It was originally designated A-4D under the U.S. Navy's pre-1962 designation system. The Skyhawk is a relatively lightweight aircraft with a maximum takeoff weight of 24,500 pounds and has a top speed of more than 670 miles per hour. The aircraft's 5 hardpoints support a variety of missiles, bombs and other munitions. It was capable of carrying a bomber load equivalent to that of a World War II-era Boeing B-17 bomber, and could deliver nuclear weapons using a low-altitude bombing system and airloft delivery technique. The A-4 was originally powered by the Wright J65 turbojet engine. From the A-4E onwards, the Pratt & Whitney J52 was used. Skyhawks played key roles in the Vietnam War, the Yom Kippur War, and the Falklands War. 60 years after the aircraft's first flight, some of the nearly 3,000 produced remain in service with several air arms around the world, including from the Brazilian Navy's aircraft carrier, São Paulo. Design and development. The Skyhawk was designed by Douglas Aircraft's Ed Heinemann in response to a U.S.Navy call for a jet-powered attack aircraft to replace the older Douglas A-4 Skyrider. Heinemann opted for a design that would minimize its size, weight, and complexity. The result was an aircraft that weighed only half of the Navy's weight specification. It had a wing so compact that it did not need to be folded for carrier stowage. The diminutive Skyhawk soon received the nicknames Scooter, Kiddie Car, Bantam Bomber, Tinker Toy Bomber, and, on account of its nimble performance, Heinemann's Hot Rod. The aircraft is of conventional post-World War II design, with a low-mounted delta wing, tricycle undercarriage, and a single turbojet engine in the rear fuselage, with 2 air intakes on the fuselage sides. The tail is of cruciform design, with the horizontal stabilizer mounted above the fuselage. Armament consisted of 2 20mm Colt Mk12 cannons, 1 in each wing root, with 100 rounds per gun, plus a large variety of bombs, rockets, and missiles carried on a hard point under the fuselage centerline and hard points under each wing. The choice of a delta wing combines speed and maneuverability with a large fuel capacity and small overall size, thus not requiring folding wings, albeit at the expense of cruising efficiency. The leading-edge slats were designed to drop automatically at the appropriate speed by gravity and air pressure, saving weight and space by emitting actuation motors and switches. Similarly, the main undercarriage did not penetrate the main wing spar, designed so that when retracted only the wheel itself was inside the wing and the undercarriage struts were housed in a fairing below the wing. The wing structure itself could be lighter with the same overall strength, and the absence of a wing folding mechanism further reduced weight. The turbojet engine was accessed for service or replacement by removing the aft section of the fuselage and sliding out the engine. This obviated the need for access doors with the hinges and latches, further reducing aircraft weight and complexity. This is the opposite of what can often happen in aircraft design, where a small weight increase in one area leads to a compounding increase in weight in other areas to compensate, creating a demand more powerful, heavier engines, larger wing and empennage area, and so on in a vicious circle. The A-4 pioneered the concept of buddy air-to-air refueling. This allows the aircraft to supply others of the same type, eliminating the need for dedicated tanker aircraft, a particular advantage for small air arms or when operating in remote locations. This allows for greatly improved operational flexibility and reassurance against the loss or malfunction of tanker aircraft, though this procedure reduces the effective combat force on board the carrier. A designated supply A4 would mount a center-mounted buddy store, a large external fuel tank with a hose reel in the aft section and an extensible drogue refueling bucket. This aircraft was fueled up without armament and launched first. Attack aircraft would be armed to the maximum and given as much fuel as was allowable by maximum takeoff weight limits, far less than a full tank. Once airborne, they would then proceed to top off the fuel tanks from the tanker using the A4's fixed refueling probe on the starboard side of the aircraft nose. They could then sortie with both full armament and fuel loads. While the capability of the A4 was rarely used in U.S. service after the Ka-3 Sky Warrior became available as a tanker, the versatility of the capability and the retirement of the Sky Warrior meant that the Boeing FA-180F Super Hornet now includes this capability. The A4 was also designed to be able to make an emergency landing in the event of a hydraulic failure on the two drop tanks nearly always carried by these aircraft. Such landings resulted in only minor damage to the nose of the aircraft, which could be repaired in less than an hour. The Navy issued a contract for the type on the 12th of June 1952, and the first prototype first flew from Edwards Air Force Base, California on the 22nd of June 1954. Deliveries to Navy and Marine Corps squadrons commenced in late 1956. The Skyhawk remained in production until 1979, with 2,960 aircraft built, including 555 two-seat trainers. The last production A4 and A4M of Marine Squadron VMA 331 had the flags of all nations that operated the A4 painted on its fuselage sides.